And we're live. What's happening? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing on this Sunday evening? Oh my goodness, I hope everybody had a good weekend. Hopefully it was productive. Mine was super productive. Not really. We had what did we have this weekend? We have 4 weddings going on this weekend. I just had to work a ceremony. So tell me about your weekend. What's going on? As always, tell me who you are, where you're from, where you're watching from. Hopefully you have a drink poured. If not, now's the time to do so. We're going to be here for about an hour, right at an hour. After that, I gotta record some content for next week because this week is extremely busy for me. Extremely busy. I did learn last week that I am not a fan of eggnog. So the title is Eggnog and Chill, only fitting because it's Christmas time. But I'm actually drinking on a little sheepdog peanut butter whiskey mixed with some Jackson Morgan banana liqueur, kind of like peanut butter and banana. Very tasty libation for this evening. Very, very tasty. As always, be sure to tell me where you're from. And if you got any questions, throw them down in the comment section. We're going to be here, like I said, about an hour. Looks like we got Bill Parker from PA. Presenator from Florida. Georgia in the house. Louisiana. It looks like we got all of the South in the house. Let's see here. Arlington, Texas. All of the South in the house. Jacob Berg, we got Jacob checking in from Minnesota. Let's see here. What's going on, Stub? Did Blake's wedding at the most beautiful venue, Meadow on the Mountain, yesterday. That's a fantastic venue. I'll say it once. I'll say it again. There's a venue in the state called Meadow on the Mountain. It overlooks Petit Jean Mountain. It's up in the northwest corner of the state. Fantastic venue. The people that run it are super great as well. Gavin, what's going on? Gavin checking in from Branson. I think I may be making a trip up to Branson here in the next week or two. Get the wife and baby out of the house and go see the lights. Now, I will say, 2 years ago we went to see the lights in Branson. Was extremely let down. Extremely let down. New Mexico checking in the house. Pennsylvania. Hey Amber, how are you doing? Amber's one of the homies. She always comments on my stuff. Makes me feel good. I appreciate it, Amber. Brett Baker, what's going on, man? I've been doing okay. I've been doing all right. It's officially slow season. Like this weekend, we had 4 weddings, and from here on out, it's picking and choosing. We got one next weekend, and then after that, we've got one on January the 2nd. But really, after we get this week done, man, it's slow pickings. Slow pickings. Got Blake and Cynthia Smith checking in right up the road from my place. That's family, guys. That's family. Let's see here. Tell me how it looks and sounds. I know I got some background music playing in the back, just to kind of break up the silence. But if the background music's too loud or if you can't hear it, I do want you to let me know. How am I adjusting to the bald? Man, it is cold AF always now. My body temperature is not used to it. I keep my house at like 68 degrees. That was normal because I'm a big guy. I like it cold. This is big boy season, and man, it's chilly now. But I'm getting used to it. I miss my hair, no doubt. It was a big thing. I had this year has been a year full of emotion. The business is, it's doing okay, but not as great as it would be. I had a kid. I've been dealing with daddy issues because the little known fact, we may be getting a little personal here, but I didn't have a dad growing up. So like trying to figure out this fatherhood thing, it's been an emotional roller coaster. I wouldn't change it for the world, but it's been emotionally draining. And then losing my hair, going bald. I saw the writing on the wall, and I was not trying to have the big island up here at the front. So I just decided, you know what? Let's just shave it off. And I just got trash genetics. My family, we are a balding family. So I just, it was time to let it go, but I'm adjusting. All right. My beanie collection is growing. Although I don't like, it doesn't feel that great because, I actually just cut my hair yesterday, I'm going razor now, straight, just with a razor. I was using clippers. It wasn't getting it as nice as I would have wanted it. But now when I stick this hoodie on, it's like Velcro trying to take it off. It's very interesting for sure. Jay Book Club in the house. If you guys don't know Jay is another one of the quarantine and chill homies, doing big things over in South Carolina. Good friend of mine, pumping out some good content as always. Jay, how's it going? Neil, do I do much in high school dances? I actually don't. I used to do. Man, we used to do a ton of dances here in the town that I'm in Arkansas, and it wasn't, trying to get the schools to see the value and what they're paying for. It's a tough battle, and it's a battle that I didn't want to keep fighting. I know I could throw a damn good prom, homecoming, school dance, but it wasn't a fight worth fighting. They, even for like a 2-hour school dance, we're bringing in lights and truss, and, they don't even want to pay like my bottom tier wedding package. And then they found somebody that can do it cheaper. And then from there, I don't mind not getting the call back. It does not bother me at all. Let's see here. Neil also watched the credit card video. Yeah, if you haven't, I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the content we put out this week, specifically the how much does it cost to maintain, and how did I pay for all my equipment. I think that was a big eye opener for a lot of people who just have seen. They've seen the growth over on YouTube, and they don't know like the story behind the growth. They either think that I'm, rolling in dough or got rich parents or whatever, and neither is the case. I broke it down because, this year we're not going, I think I made it very obvious that we're not going to turn, 500,000. The goal this year was $500,000 in revenue. That's not going to happen. But we were on track to, so that's the number that I used. And I think a lot of people, their eyes were opened, with what it takes to really properly run a business, cash flow wise of this magnitude. And, we may turn 500K in revenue, but that is definitely not what goes into my pocket. I'm living a very, average middle class life, and it's fantastic. Growing up poor, I will take middle class any day of the week. And I don't have to work for anybody else, but for myself. So it's fantastic. And then the credit card video, which also got a lot of good feedback. I think the main thing that I try to portray in that video was if that's what you're going to do to fund and finance your company, man, it puts you behind the 8 ball. And I made that mistake, but at the same time, it was really kind of my only option. Being young, having bad credit, banks, they're not gonna give you the time of day. So I did what I had to do, and ultimately it's worked out well. But I advise you, get those bills paid off. If you run a cash flow business where you're operating in the black at all times, it's the best way to do business. Mario Sanchez asks, what's the worst equipment malfunction on the job? Cheers, by the way. Cheers, everybody. Salute. The worst equipment malfunction I've ever had on the job actually happened this year. We had not worked. It was Easter weekend. A church here in town had contracted us to do a parking lot service for them. And we hadn't been out all year. Normally by that time we've got a couple of events under our belt. And so we getting used to being back in the flow of providing like a festival package for PA and renting in a generator and everything else. I made a terrible mistake. And it's something that I still look back to this day and say, man, you got to slow down. You got to slow down and pay attention, because I could have blown up my entire PA. I could have seriously injured some people, and I could have, it just would have been a bad day. So, most of the time, you go into a venue, you don't have to worry about power. It's already there. You just plug into the wall. For a lot of these outdoor things, that's not an option. So you have to bring your own power. You have to supply a 3-phase generator or single phase or whatever your equipment runs off of. And I made the mistake of camming in or tying in power. With 3-phase power, you've got a ground, a neutral, and 3 hot legs. Generally, it's black, red, white, blue, green. And black, red, and blue are your hot legs. I got my colors mixed up, and we were having some, we tied it in. I made the mistake of not metering my power before I plug stuff in, because, of course, we do this all the time. No big deal. And that was not the case. We pulled out a multimeter, hit the one of the plugs off of our 10.5 distro, and we were getting crazy voltage. It was super high. I want to say it was somewhere in the neighborhood like 170 something. We immediately knew there was a problem. It didn't dawn on me that I had plugged in power wrong. We were messing with the generator. We were trying to figure out what was going on. We thought we had a bad generator. And come to find out, John tied the power in wrong. I had the neutral on one of the hot legs, and it was doing some weird stuff. So no big deal. It didn't burn anything up. I turned off the distro, turned off the generator, re-tied in power, which I did wrong again. I didn't mess up once, but I messed up twice. And the second time is when I thought I'd really messed up, because I turned the generator back on, no problem. It's sending power to the distro. Everything's got breakers. I hit the breakers, and you could hear clicks, like click, 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 click. Like in the amp rack, we've got really it's kind of a protection, like it's a fail safe, really. So we go from the generator to the distro, from the distro using a 10.5, meaning 10 gauge, 5 wire, which gives us 3 circuits down 1 cable. I know we're talking maybe in Spanish to people. But we go straight from the distro into the amp rack because we need 3 circuits to power our amp rack. And in the amp rack, we've got what's called a Motion Labs rack pack. So, the Motion Labs rack pack has breakers in it as well. I hit the switch on the main breaker. I hear all of the breakers trip off of the rack pack, and I see smoke coming from my amp rack, and I thought it was over. I thought my PA was done. Luckily, that rack pack saved my distro. When I say I heard a boom, I heard clicks, and it was not a good situation. I was pissed, and I could be mad at no one else but myself. thank God I've got people like my brother Blake that goes out. Anytime I have a big rig, Blake is number one. And he's a jack of all trades. He's a hell of a drummer, a monitor engineer. He knows a little bit about electricity, and he can solder a cable. I mean, he went to school for studio sound, that translated into live sound. And if I would have been there by myself trying to get a job done in a rush, I could have killed some. I say that now, and there's fail safes in place, but something bad could have happened. If nothing else, I could have, burned up my entire investment and been out of pocket. And this is not the year to be spending money, especially. So, JB Twin 286, what's going on, Jermaine? How you doing, brother? Another good friend of mine doing big things over on Facebook. If you're into gaming, that type of stuff, JB Twin 286 is a funny follow and a really good friend of mine. But anyway, yeah, that's the worst equipment malfunction. Oh yeah, it did, Blake. I only didn't blow the breakers in my distro. Also, the power went down the line because I didn't think to meter anything, because we've done this 1,000 times, right? It's business as usual. And, the guy, they were in the middle of a sound check, and we were getting weird humming and power issues. So we turned everything down, turned it back on, and it sent some wrong signal down the line, and blew the fuse in a Nord piano. And if you know anything about Nord pianos, they're a minimum of $2,500. So not only could I have hurt somebody, messed something up, I could have blew my stuff up, but I also could have blew up somebody else's stuff. So, electricity is nothing to joke around with. Take your time. I got a comment on one of my last videos. A guy wanted a detailed explanation of all of my power distros. And that would be an extremely boring video, but I'm not going to show it, A, because I don't think a lot of people would be interested, and B, I'm not an electrician. And when you post stuff on YouTube talking about electricity, the YouTube electricians come out in the woodwork, as they rightfully should. I'm not downing anybody, but that's not what I do for a living. I'm not an electrician. So take your time. Nothing, 5 minutes of rushing around and trying to get stuff set up as soon as possible is not worth blowing up, $100,000 worth of equipment, which very easily could have happened that Easter weekend. So, long story long, worst equipment malfunction on the job happened this year, and it was because John Simmons was in a rush, and it bit him in the ass. Brett Baker says, I really like doing school dances and school events, but I totally agree with you. Schools just don't understand why the price is the way it is, and all of the work that goes into putting on a school dance. And I even like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe it's been longer than that, actually. It was back when I was living in my old town. I purchased Arnaldo Offerman, which he also has a YouTube channel. He's got this program called Master School Dances, and I bought that hoping that I could, get school dances here in Arkansas to like something big, grow them and grow with the schools and everything. But, everything that I tried, I just kept hitting brick walls. So eventually I just said it's not worth my fight. I'm going through the questions. If you got anything, put it down in the comment section below, and I'll get to it as I make my way down the list. Inside Audio asked, assuming we were in better times and you had no budget constraints, what type of speaker manufacturer would I go with? Would I stick with JBL/Evie? If I had an unlimited budget and could spend $1 million, which is what it would cost, unlimited budget, I would go with the big three, which would be L Acoustics, Meyer, D&B. but all of those speaker manufacturers, they're all out of my price range, and they're going to be out of my price range for quite some time. I get the question all the time of how long are you going to stick with the VRX rig? When are you going to outgrow it? Until I get to a point where that VRX rig is just not capable of doing the things that I need it to do. I need to start renting in bigger PA. We're doing, you know, bigger festivals where we're talking 5,000-10,000 people, or, you know, do an arena show or something like that, where it's a big venue and the VRX is just not enough. And I've got to start renting stuff in. That will be the turning point in when I will buy a new PA. But until then, the VRX, it's very, it's not versatile at all. It's a constant curvature array. It kind of is what it is. But for the marketplace that I have, it works out perfectly. We can do an outdoor festival for a couple thousand people. We can do an indoor corporate event for a couple thousand people. We can, you know, it works out. You know, we can pole mount a couple if we're doing something in a gym for a school dance, or in a gym for a Chamber of Commerce banquet. Any of that stuff, it works out really well. Right now, if I need anything bigger, I've got great friends in the industry who are friends and mentors that own enough PA for me to do anything that I need to. So, and until the time comes where I need to, if I need to do something different, that's you know, that's when I'll make that jump. But until then, I'm sticking with that VRX. Blake, I did not see any snow today. We got some snow up in northwest Arkansas today, but I didn't get any snow down here. Bar, what's going on, brother? How you doing? I was checking out your Vlogmas today. Again, I got a lot of great friends. Bar, he's doing Vlogmas along with me, and he's killing it. I throw up videos, and they're all kind of, you know, spit together. Not a lot of deep editing, especially on this Vlogmas thing. It's you don't understand how hard it is to put out a new video every single day. It's super tough. But Bar's killing it. The editing's on point. And I was watching the vlog today in Spanish, in Espanol. I wish I knew how to speak Spanish. I was talking to Lunatico on his stream a couple weeks ago. It's like, I love the Spanish vibe and the culture, and it's just so it's intimate. But I'm definitely not Spanish. Okay. What are my thoughts on Behringer's new wing console? I saw it at NAMM earlier this year, but I have not sat behind it. I got to touch it and feel it and put my hands on it, but I didn't get to play around on it. My good friend Mark, who's got a ton of Vertec cabinets, he's got one in his shop right now that they're putting in for an install. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get over there before it actually goes out. I was actually thinking about buying the wing just because my X32s are getting a little long in the tooth, and it's time for something else. But really, I don't know if I want to stay with the Midas Behringer ecosystem or switch over to the new Allen and Heath Advantis. The only reason why I'm gonna say I would stick with the Midas, wing Behringer, is because I've got 2 of the X32s already. I've got like 3 of the X Air consoles. I've got the stage box. I've got everything I need to make it work with the wing to date right now, or with Midas M32 or whatever. But the Allen and Heath Advantis, man, it looks so much nicer. And if you don't have Behringer on your rider list when you go to advance a show, if you're advancing a concert and they ask, what kind of console do you have, and you say, I got a couple X32s, is that okay? They go, yeah, I guess it's okay. But with the Advantis, I think I think it could put me in a different league, and it just looks dope. Hey, Bar with the super chat. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. What's my preferred kick drum mic? I don't really have a preference in kick drum mic. I'm a sound guy, but I'm not a sound guy. I employ sound guys. I've got Blake, who's a fantastic monitor engineer. Jeremy, who is a fantastic front of house engineer. I'll let those guys handle sound. I can do sound if I need to, but my thing is lighting. I enjoy lighting. Not to say that I can't do it, but if you've heard me talk once, you've heard me say it a million times, employ your weaknesses. Finding I can be ringing out a wedge on the microphone, and Blake knows, he'll hear it in his ear. Oh, that's 1.5K. Oh, that's 2K. That's 800 hertz, something like that. I can't do that. I don't have the formal training in it. I really thought I was going to use this year to really work on my live sound muscle. Oh boy, the camera. No. We almost had this $2,000 camera almost just went flying. I'm not drunk. I didn't balance my tripod properly. That was almost really bad. But I'm not a sound guy. I can do it. I can, it takes me a little bit longer to get a mix dialed in. Where if you've got a sound guy, they've got it dialed in where it sounds good, feels good. After the end, they do their sound check. After the first song, when the band steps out on stage, they've got it perfected. I am not that guy. It takes me about 3 songs to get it to where I want it. That way I'm just pushing knobs and faders. It just takes me a little bit longer. So kick drum mic, I know I don't have a preferred kick drum mic, but we use beta 91s and beta 52s for kick in, kick out. 91 on the in, 52 on the out. Keaton's Pro AV, what caused you to go in the direction of the VRX versus something like the RCF HDL6, which is around the same price? The HDL6 is around the same price, but a 6-inch woofer compared to a 12-inch woofer, I don't think is in the same category. They sound really good. They just don't have the balls that I want. And I think it would flatten out a lot quicker than what a 12-inch driver would. How good are local chamber commerces? DJ King asks, how good are local chambers of commerces for small DJ businesses? I would say join any chamber of commerce that you can that makes sense. We get a lot of business from our local chamber, from businesses having grand openings, lunch and learns, chamber commerce. I forget what they call them. Business after dark. One of our local chamber of commerces sponsors our festival. So, all in all, if you can join a chamber, they've been really helpful for me. But your mileage may vary. It's, again, just because you go sign up for something doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be put to work. You can join a chamber of commerce. You can join a DJ collective. You can join the DJ's Vault. That gives you a lot of different information and stuff to help you learn and grow your business. But at the end of the day, nothing will work unless you do. So take it for what it is. Take it for what it is. DJ Trax asked, how did you get into the fight game? Would love to get into that arena. That kind of fell into my hands. A friend of mine who I go to church with, she owns a video production company that does live streaming and, different things like that. She was live streaming MMA fights, and she said the production was just trash. And she got me put in contact with the guys who run Pyramid Fights, which is the local fight promotion that we provide production for. And, it's been awesome ever since. We were a show that we were scheduled to do this year. We were going to have a show out at Dickey Stevens Park, which is the pro baseball team here in Arkansas. It's not pro, but I guess it's the most pro sport here in the state. It's their minor league team. they were going to have a fight out on that on the diamond, and we were going to provide production for that, but COVID happened. So I would say just start looking, for local fight promotions in your area. It seems to be a pretty common thing, and just try to get in and hand a card and just grow it. Bar says, you might be the only one who saw the Spanish vlog. Audience hates it. I'm so tired from Vlogmas. I can't wait for it to end. Bar, me too, man. It's really, it's pushed me to try to put out more content. And I hate even saying that, because I've grown this thing, and then I kind of let it sit because I got super busy. And now that I'm back doing Vlogmas, like, 2 years ago, that you'll notice, like in my Vlogmas titles, it's season 2, because this is my second year of doing it. I skipped last year, but that first year, I put, those numbers are huge. That was when I was first making videos over my VRX rig. I think that video's got 500,000 views. They were doing massive numbers, and now I don't think any of the videos I've done for Vlogmas have broken 5K, which is okay. I'm not in it to get famous or make a living or make money. I'm trying to help you guys, and with that, push out my own personal brand. But man, I am ready for it to be over too, so I can go back to my once a month uploads. By the way, we are in Vlogmas, and ideas are running slim. So if you've got an idea for something in, you want to see, if it's not in Vlogmas, something you want to see in general, throw it down in the comments, and I'll get to it if I can. I promise you. Let's see here. If I spoke Spanish, I'd be down, but I do not think a lot of people do Spanish DJ vlogs. Not a lot of people do Spanish DJ vlogs. So I don't speak Spanish either, but I enjoy, Spanish is a very romantic culture, and I enjoy the interaction. So you don't have to speak it to enjoy it. Alan Heath stuff looks solid. Yes, it does. It sure does. If I were to buy a trailer stage, a mobile stage, what size would I buy? Would I go Apex or Stage Line? I've worked with Apex and Stage Line very closely, and both of them have their pros and cons. Apex comes in at a little bit lesser, and when I say a little bit, like it's like half the cost of a Stage Line. I wouldn't say half. It's probably about, depending on what you get. Let's take an SL260, and let's take an Apex 3224. The Apex stage is roughly $70,000 cheaper, but it's not the same stage. It's a great stage. I love how the Apex has the truss on the ends that you can hang stuff off of. You can uplight it. It looks better dressed out. I will say the Apex stage looks better dressed out. But the Apex stage can't lift as much. Even my buddy Daniel, who owns the Apex stage, it's tough. It's tough to lift. It struggles picking up the VRX cabinets, and we're flying 5 aside. Those boxes are 53 pounds a piece. By the time you get motors and everything else on them, plus cable, you're looking at, I would say around 60, 65 pounds per speaker. And the Apex struggles to pick it up. As a matter of fact, it's not supposed to lift that much weight. It says it'll lift, I want to say 10,000. No, not 10,000. I want to say 2,000 pounds is what the Apex says it'll lift, but I don't think that's the case. So if I was going with a smaller stage, I would go with an Apex. If I was going with a larger stage, I would go with a Stage Line. What does that say? Kudos for running one of the best DJ live sound channels, knowledgeable and pragmatic. Thanks for letting us know when something is beyond your scope. Better be upfront than to give out bad info. That's the main thing. There's nobody, with the exception of people like my friend Bar and Rick and Jay Book, Cleveland Terry, all those guys. I don't feel like anybody else is putting out the same thing that I necessarily put out, as far as like the live sound production thing, because that is where my heart is. I'm to the point now where I've got 5 DJs on staff. I don't want to DJ anymore. Weddings, They used to be fun. 13 years later, it's not fun to me anymore. What's fun to me now is I love being a teacher, and I love putting the pieces of the puzzle together. That's where I get enjoyment. That's my realm. I think I'm a great teacher, and I'm great at being in front of the client. I can talk with the best of them. But like the wedding DJ playing, cha-cha-cha or cha-cha slide and Cupid shuffle and WAP and Bruno Mars every weekend, I don't enjoy that anymore. And that's just me being upfront and honest. I just don't enjoy it anymore. That's not to say I won't do it, because I DJ'd, probably 12, 15 weddings this year. But if I had my first choice, I would much rather manage my guys, ensure that they're taken care of. And now with me having a family, I want to be home on the weekends. Now, because of COVID, that has not happened this year. I've been busier now than I was last year, and I'm making a quarter of the income that I was making last year. But I would much rather employ guys who will go out, do a good job, rep the brand, keep their day job, keep this as a side hustle, and really grow those guys and mold the next guys that are leading the company, versus me going out and I think my time is better spent here at the office. Yeah, Bar. I'm running the Sony A7S with I got Sigma lens on here. It's the A7S II, so it's the older. This one came out. When did this come out? It's older because the 3 just came out, but it looks great, especially when I throw some LUTs and some nice matte. I don't even know camera terms, but I know when the image is extremely flat, it looks fantastic. I do want the new A7S III, but COVID, I'm broke. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. The Yamaha CL5 is a fantastic console. Alex Perez, you are 100% correct. A good buddy of mine owns a pair of those CX5s. They're awesome. They're awesome consoles. If I had the money, I'd buy a Ravage, because they're awesome. Jeff Johnson, thank you for keeping the content coming. Love what you do. And congrats on the newborn. Life-changing experience for sure. Man, it's been, like I said, I didn't have a dad growing up. The past 6 months have been some of the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Dealing with daddy issues as a 31-year-old man. And this is just me being honest. I know a lot of people expect for men to keep their emotions and stuff all bottled up. I am a very emotional guy. The past 6 months, I think the thing that hit me the hardest, and this is, I'm gonna say it anyway. I think the thing that hit me the hardest is when I was at the hospital with my wife, and she's going into labor, and the baby pops out, and we go through the spiel. They take her to the room. I go get her something to eat because they wouldn't let her eat. So we go get Roadhouse. We're having a steak dinner, sitting here looking at this beautiful child that we created. I'm not going to cry. I am not going to cry. And I remember it was 2:00 in the morning, late at night. She's exhausted just giving birth. The kid is in there, sleeping, he's wrapped up tight, got the little head cap on and whatever. I think the thing that hit me the hardest was knowing that my mother didn't have someone there with her. She did it all alone. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Just sitting there looking at my wife, looking at this new child that we brought in to the world, and knowing that my mom did it by herself. It's just it blows my mind. It blows my mind. I'm getting off that subject before I cry for real. Okay. Tim Bobbitt, my buddy Tim. Tim is one of my good friends, and we connected through YouTube, and he's in St. Louis. Me and my wife are ready for this COVID stuff to be over. So we love St. Louis. We actually thought about moving there a couple years ago. And it's a great city. I really enjoyed in St. Louis. Tim's a great guy. Let's see here. What if you did a video on my lighting setup? Brett, what do you want to see in particular on the lighting setup? Let me know in the comment. I know you are all tired of the added content, but it's definitely very much appreciated. We wish you had these types of resources available when you started 25 years ago. Man, I agree. DJs nowadays got it spoiled. Like if carrying vinyl records and turntables was the thing back when I started, I would not be a DJ, because it does not seem like a fun time. I started with a controller, like a Hercules RMX controller, which is itty bitty guy, and a couple speakers. And DJs nowadays don't have to carry around analog EQs and CD players and power amps and speak on cable and big heavy speakers. That does not sound like fun to me. I think a lot of people DJ'd back in the day just so they could get all the honeys, but let's see here. Levi, I need a job. Levi, I need a job too. If you know somebody hiring, I'm actually, even though it's been slow this year, we added another DJ to the roster. We had to let a DJ go, but we added a DJ to the roster. So growth is still happening, even in the midst of COVID. I think it's time that I go back to my VRX rig. 2 tops, 2 subs. I tried a year of RCF J8 and they never sounded good to you. The J8, is that the column array from RCF? I'm not a huge fan of the column array speakers. I will say I was pleasantly surprised when I went to NAMM and Evie was debuting their Evolve 30s. I was pleasantly surprised, and I think all of the guys that was in the room, I think they were pleasantly surprised too, because they sounded really good. But they're just, me not DJing weddings anymore, they're not versatile enough for me. If one of my guys wanted to buy a set and have it for them, feel free. But like our EKX rig and all of our point source stuff, I think they're a little bit more versatile, where I can use them as wedges or main speakers, and then they got all the EQ settings and stuff in there. But I was trying to get my hands on a set of column arrays for like a shootout for Vlogmas, but I never could do it. Jackie Poole, would I consider doing a workshop in summer 2021? Ooh, that's a great idea. I've never thought about doing a workshop. I don't know. Well, I'll take that back. So, that's a great possibility, but in order for that to happen, I'd probably have to host that workshop at another conference. I was supposed to, oh, dang, I forgot all about that. All right. So, I went to NAMM. I was supposed to go to DJ Expo. It got canceled. I was supposed to go to, Mobile Beat. It got canceled. So if I was to do a workshop, it would be at one of those conferences, which totally reminds me, I had my plane ticket bought. I was looking forward to, I was going into Atlantic City a couple days early, and I was going to kick it with Bar and the guys over at Sound Shop Vlogs. And I need to get my refund. I need to get a refund back on that ticket. I forgot all about that. I need to reach out to Southwest. DJ Track, same here. Saw my son for the first time and it moved me. Makes me want to do better than my dad did. Yeah, I get it. Brett Baker, I would like to see your lighting consoles and or moving heads. Brett, if you want to see my lighting consoles or moving heads, go check out. I literally have not bought anything new in quite some time lighting wise. The only thing that I've added to the inventory is I sold the Camsys Quick Q30. It just wasn't a good fit for me and what I was trying to do. So I sold it and I picked up an Onyx I forget what it's even called, but I'm using the Onyx platform for the bigger lighting jobs. But that, even in that, it's like, I bought it because it was an extremely good deal. I bought it at the end of last year. It has not left the shop, other than me, messing around with it here. But if you want to see like my moving heads, all of the lighting inventory, go check out my lighting tour video, and that will give you a full breakdown on all my lighting, because I haven't added anything. I haven't added anything since that. Keaton's Pro AV, those arrays are not flexible at all. I agree. They serve a purpose, but with me, and especially with my financial stuff, if it can't especially speaker wise, if it's only built for one thing, I don't know that I need it. I need something that I can, you can do live sound on them, like small coffee shop gigs and stuff like that, but we don't do a lot of those gigs anyway. So, I don't know that it would be a good fit. Even for like a smaller conference, it might work. But again, I don't know. Maybe a breakout room or something like that. But I need speakers to be pretty flexible. Dude, we have been on 45 minutes. That went by extremely fast. So we're getting off of here in like 15. Hit me up with some questions, some comments. How have you guys been liking Vlogmas so far? It's been a lot of work, but it's been very rewarding. My drink is getting watered down. What has been y'all's favorite? What's been y'all's favorite video that we put out so far? Again, we're drinking Sheepdog peanut butter whiskey and some Jackson Morgan banana cream liqueur. It's makes like a peanut butter and banana drink. It's awesome. Given the COVID situation, have you done virtual events where we provided the video stream? We no, not necessarily like nothing big. Actually, this room that we're in right now, we've hosted a couple of different live stream things where they can come to the office. We've got a pro camera set up, pro audio. We've got studio lighting in the room. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going to show y'all right now. We're actually doing a video on this space. I just put in some new lighting in here. This room has hosted a couple different live stream events or teleconference events where somebody wants they don't want to use the webcam on their computer, so they come here. We've done that 5 or 6 times. We're going to start turning this into really a content creation room. We're going to host podcasts here. If you haven't done so already, I did start a podcast. We're getting some really good feedback from our friends and from you guys. And it's totally not DJ related. I have enough DJ, live sound, all that stuff in my life already. If I was going to do a podcast, one stipulation was it's not going to be over DJ stuff. I make DJ videos on YouTube. Everything I do is DJ. I need something where I can release and be myself. Say a couple dirty words. Mama, if you're watching, I love you. I'm sorry. But I need a release. So we turn this into a podcast room. We're also renting this room out. So if somebody wants to come and do a turnkey podcast solution where they've got pro mics, pro sound, pro lighting, pro video, and you want to sit down for an hour, record your podcast, $200, we upload it and it's gone to the cloud. So we're just trying to do what we can to stay busy. Keaton's Pro AV, definitely the expense video. A lot of people, I've gotten a lot of good feedback on the on those 2 videos, the expense video and the gear purchase video, which is surprising. The minute that I say this, I've been hesitant to say it or to make it known on social media, because the minute I say it, someone is gonna go do it. But those 2 videos, they have well over 200 likes, 0 dislikes, which means that's exactly what people want to see. So if there's something with those videos you want me to dive a little bit deeper into, please let me know. Before Vlogmas is up, I am going to have my CPA on. I'm really pumped about that. Guys, if you want your business to grow and from like somebody that can see your company from a different angle than you see it, the emotion's not there. So finding a good CPA has been paramount in my financial success as a business, just because he sees it very straightforward as numbers only, where I see it as numbers, yes, but I'm also emotionally involved in it, so it makes my decision making a little bit different. But yeah, he's been fantastic, and I'm gonna have him on before Vlogmas ends. The good thing about CPAs, I did ask him if some of you guys were interested in talking with him about going over your financials and maybe hiring him for your company. I think every state but 2 states he's able to practice in. So I'll touch more on that later. But yeah, my CPA's been fantastic. Let's see here. I really love the shop tour videos and in-depth financial videos. Cool. That's good. Shows a lot more than, yeah, it does show that a lot. It's a lot going on. A lot going on. Xavier, my thoughts on video walls in your market or area. I was this close. And when I say this, I was, guys, that close to purchasing a video wall this year. I had a video wall company here locally contracted to provide me a video wall last year for a 2-day festival that we were doing, and I was talking to him that Friday. The festival kicked off on Friday. He was supposed to come set up my gig first before he went to another gig. Turns out he went to his other gig first and was not able to make it to my gig on time. He missed the entire first day. The client, who I'm really close with, they understood. They didn't blame me, but I was furious. So when I say I was close to just being done with them, buying my own, because I could make it work. I'm the guy, I can make just about anything work. It's all in what you put into it, right? I was close to buying one because they're profitable, and not showing up for a day that you're contracted for, that you have a deposit on, it's simply not acceptable. It's not acceptable. First time catching the show, Sim Coder. Thanks for being here. Oh, guys, if you're watching this, I'm assuming all of you are subscribed. If you're not, if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you're subscribed. If you're not, please subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Also, be sure to like this live stream. It helps get the views going and more people watching. That's all that I ask. I'm not asking for money. I don't have anything to sell. I just ask that you like and share the content. That way more people can see my face, and maybe that'll present more opportunities in the future. Chris Park and Ride says he loves the videos. Thanks, man. Frank Weaver, have I had any experience with PV Q-Wave speakers? Q-Wave is, I believe that's PV's top of the line, the QLF stuff. Is it QLF or QWF or something like that? That's the best PV stuff that they make. The price point shows it, and they sound really good. I've actually heard some Q stuff, and it sounds really good. Can I do a video on my podcast gear? Yes, I can. Actually, I'm going to do a video on putting the new lights in this space, and then once I kind of get it done and finalized and settled, I'm going to do a video on this area as well. So we'll go over my switcher, which is this box right here. I've got my mixer here, the camera, the microphones. There's a TV right here that we can broadcast stuff to. So yeah, as soon as I get everything kind of finalized, I can do a video over that. Second, on a video of your podcast, if you have one, live stream set up along with getting video and audio, such as a good mix of multiple instruments. Yeah, I can do that. Brandon, I know Brandon. Hey, what's going on, brother? Can I do an event prep video? The steps you take from the moment you have signed contract to rolling to the gig. Yeah, I can do that for sure. That's a simple one. Bo the Light Guy. Hey man, what would you say I need to cover myself to do installs, both legal and insurance wise? Bo, in Arkansas, there's no licensure required if you're installing, if you're billing out less than, I want to say $100,000, or maybe it's $50,000 per invoice. Anything you're invoicing, any job that you're doing that's greater than 100,000, there's like a low voltage license that you need. I don't have one of those because the stuff that we do, we're installing, $20,000-$30,000 tops worth of stuff, invoiced out. We're installing TVs and stuff like that. Now, just because you don't need a license to do it doesn't mean that you shouldn't seek training wherever possible. You can mess something up really fast, screwing into walls. You don't know what's behind there, and hanging stuff off a pipe. And anytime you have something put up over somebody's head, it's always a liability. So I would say, always seek to do any kind of training that you could or that you can. And then insurance wise, you need a minimum of a $1 million liability policy. It sounds like, people think $1 million. It's not, it doesn't cost you $1 million. I think our insurance is $1,100 a month. We've got a lot more stuff going on than the average company. But we've also got a $2 million liability policy. So, you never know. You got to protect yourself. Insurance. Some people said on my expense video that I was paying a lot for insurance, but you get some cheap insurance and something happens, you'll find out if you didn't pay enough for insurance. So video idea, obviously some people aren't comfortable with it, but price breakdown, DJ packages versus production type gigs, price in the South versus East Coast with bar and stuff for weddings, a la carte. That might be a good video for me and Bar, or me and Brandon, maybe Rick Webb or Cleveland Terry, J Book, any of those guys. That may be a good video for us to do a collaboration on. I can't speak on their pricing, but it's just, for me, it's a given that their pricing is a little bit more expensive than ours is, just because the cost of living here is so cheap. A lot of people were amazed when I said I get this office space for $800 a month, because I know it would cost on the coast. It's going to cost, a minimum of $2,500. I'm getting a good deal here. But the cost of living here is extremely cheap too. Like my house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's not an acre. It's like, I think the land survey shows like 0.71 of an acre. Our mortgage payment is $750 a month. And that's me being generous, because I always add more onto the principal. I think our actual mortgage payment per month is like $600, and that won't get you a 1-bedroom apartment in New York, LA, or New Jersey. So, I know I got it good, but my prices, compared to those guys, are going to be a lot lower, but things here are also a lot lower as well. So it's not necessarily, it all equals out. The cost of living to how much you're charging, it all equals out, but that's a great idea. We got a couple minutes left, and then I got to get off of here. Let's see here. Hey man, got to head out. It's 11:45 here in Indiana. Damn. Oh, y'all are an hour ahead of me. Congrats on your son. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Brett. Stubby, thanks for the thumbs up. Love the content. I think out of the DJs I watched the most, Bar Rick Webb, Brandon Spinelli, you got the most gear hands down. So I would definitely understand why it's a minimum of 1 million. Yeah. I have a lot. I would say, yeah, I probably have the most gear, but you know, it's I do a lot of different things. Those guys are they're all pretty much wedding DJs. No shade on wedding DJs. We do weddings here too, but I decided to grow my company into the production side, which Brandon's doing as well, just because that's where my heart lies. Lucas, hello from New Zealand. Man, I hate that you hopped on this late because I'm actually fixing to go. Production company versus DJ company. You might have to touch on that more, and we might have to do that next time because it's 10:30. I'm actually, I need to shoot some videos here tonight because I need a video to upload tomorrow. But I want to go home too. Let's see here. What do I think of the JBL SRX line? Fantastic speakers. Fantastic speakers. All right, guys, it's 10:31. I've got to get out of here. But before I go, again, guys, I appreciate all y'all support. The only thing that I ask, if you've been rocking with me from the beginning, the only thing that I ask is that you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, share, tweet it out, Facebook, whatever you do. That just gets me more in front of more people, creates more opportunities. It creates more opportunities for me, which is why it's not necessarily why I do these, but you know, there's always a give and take, right? The $1 million for liability, not for gear. Yeah, that's for certain. I've got a $2 million policy. I would recommend nothing less than $1 million, and then I'm insured up to, I want to say $800,000 worth of contents here at the office, which is probably pretty low. So yeah, I'm gonna stop answering questions because if I don't, I'll be here all night, guys. I appreciate your support. Videos coming out all this week. Hopefully, I will say that, man, I will say I am a Pro X dealer, Ryan. I'm going to stop answering questions. I'm going to stop looking at my screen. I'm going to put this down. I will say that this week is going to be super challenging for me to get a ton of content out. Tomorrow, Monday, I've got to pretty much edit a lot of videos. That way I have enough for the week. Tuesday, I've got to make a day trip down to Dallas. We've got a show with the local symphony orchestra that they're like doing like a TSO type of production, and I've got to go to Dallas to pick up some lasers that we're going to be providing on that job. I will be recording that, so there will be a gig log or maybe a couple gig logs coming with that, but we load in the show on Wednesday. We load in lighting on Wednesday, audio on Thursday night. There's a dress rehearsal. Then we've got two shows. Then we've got one show Friday with a dress rehearsal that morning, two shows on Saturday, two shows on Sunday. So it's going to be very busy. So I can't promise. This week might break the Vlogmas streak. But I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to try. But I appreciate all you guys rocking with me. So until next time, guys, this has been another episode of Eggnog and Chill. We'll be back next Sunday, maybe, because we're loading it out Sunday night. So we may or may not be back next Sunday, but I appreciate you guys nonetheless. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you. You know who it is, djwoopig. Good night.